Are you stuck staring at your English book with no idea what to do? Imagine if learning English felt simple, fun, and motivating every day. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to break those blocks and finally study smarter. Don't quit now, your breakthrough is waiting. Let's start right now. Welcome to Easy English Official. In this lesson, you will discover the step-by-step methods that take you from feeling frustrated to feeling confident with English. We will not just focus on grammar and vocabulary, but on breaking the walls that stop you from learning. Together, we will build a smarter way to study so that English becomes natural, exciting, and part of your everyday life. Chapter 1. What are study blocks? When people talk about study blocks, they often imagine a big, invisible wall that suddenly appears in the mind. You sit down with your English book, full of motivation, and then nothing makes sense. The words look familiar but refuse to stay in your memory. It feels frustrating and even a little scary, like your brain has given up on you. This is a normal experience that happens to learners of every age and every level. The important truth is that a study block does not mean you are lazy or untalented. It simply means your brain is tired of the same routine and needs a new method. Understanding this is the first step to breaking free from the block. Many learners blame themselves when they feel stuck, but that only makes the wall grow higher. You might think, I am just bad at English, but that thought is not true. English learning is not about natural talent, it is about strategies and consistency. With the right approach, the wall that looks so tall can quickly begin to crack. Imagine walking into a dark room where you cannot find the light switch. You stumble, you feel lost, and you think the room is impossible to use. But the truth is, the room is fine, you only need to flip the switch. Study blocks are the same. Once you learn the trick, the light comes on. Some people try to fight the block by forcing themselves to study harder. They sit for hours, repeating the same words again and again, and end up exhausted. Instead of progress, they feel even more frustrated. This is why pushing harder is not the solution. Think of your brain like a muscle in the gym. If you lift weights without rest, the muscle becomes weak, not strong. But if you give it variation, challenge, and proper breaks, it grows powerful. Study blocks appear when your brain is overworked in the wrong way. Another reason for study blocks is the lack of clear goals. When you do not know exactly why you are learning English, your motivation fades. You might start a chapter but wonder, what am I even doing this for? That confusion slowly turns into resistance. Clear goals give your brain a map to follow. For example, I want to learn 20 words for travel feels direct and exciting. But I will just study something today feels heavy and unclear. The block forms faster when the path has no direction. Emotions also play a big role in study blocks. If you are stressed, angry, or sad, your brain will close the door to new information. It is not because you cannot learn, but because your emotional energy is already busy. Recognizing this helps you to be kinder to yourself. Think back to times when learning felt fun and easy. Maybe it was a favorite teacher, a game, or a funny video. Those moments prove that your brain can open when emotions are positive. The challenge is to create more of those moments in your daily study. Study blocks often arrive when we expect perfection. You want to speak perfectly, write perfectly, and understand perfectly. When mistakes appear, disappointment blocks the way. But mistakes are not proof of failure, they are signs of growth. Consider how a child learns to walk. The child falls again and again, but never thinks, "I am a bad walker." The falls are natural, and each one makes the child stronger. If adults treated English mistakes the same way, study blocks would become weaker. Technology can also increase study blocks. Too many apps, websites, and videos can overwhelm the learner. With so many choices, you freeze and end up doing nothing. This is another wall that hides the simple truth: focus on one small step at a time. Your environment matters more than you think. A noisy room, constant phone notifications, or even a messy desk can make your brain resist studying. These distractions quietly steal your focus. Clearing the space is like opening a window for fresh air. Sometimes, the block is caused by comparing yourself to others. You see someone speaking fluently online and think, "I will never reach that level." This negative comparison plants doubt in your mind. Doubt grows quickly, and soon the block is unshakable. The healthier comparison is with your past self. Yesterday you knew 10 words. Today you know 12. Yesterday you struggled with one sentence, today you made 2. These small steps destroy the illusion that progress is impossible. Your body and mind are deeply connected. Lack of sleep, poor diet, or no exercise can all create heavy study blocks. The brain needs energy just like the muscles. When you take care of your body, the wall often disappears on its own. Imagine trying to run a marathon after no sleep and no food. It would feel impossible, even if you were trained. English study is the same. Without energy, even the simplest lesson feels like a mountain. Another powerful block is boredom. Reading the same kind of text every day can feel like chewing dry bread. The brain craves variety and play. When learning feels playful, the walls fall naturally. Music, games, role-play, and conversation are not distractions, they are fuel. They keep the brain curious and active. A curious brain does not build walls, it builds bridges. Variety is the secret weapon against boredom blocks. Many learners underestimate the power of short study sessions. They believe they need hours of focus, but that belief creates pressure. Pressure builds resistance, and resistance creates blocks. Small, regular sessions are more effective than long, painful ones. Think of drops of water falling on a stone. Each drop is small, but together they carve a hole. Your daily 5 minutes of English can carve deep knowledge into your memory. The block cannot survive when the drops are steady. Language is social by nature, but many learners study alone in silence. This isolation makes English feel unnatural and heavy. When you share English with others, the wall becomes a door. Speaking, laughing, and learning together is the key. The brain remembers better when emotions are strong. That is why songs from childhood stay in your head forever. If English practice connects to joy, friendship, or even humor, The words stick. Emotion is a natural glue that breaks blocks. Sometimes, the block comes from fear of being judged. You worry about your accent, your mistakes, or how people will react. This fear freezes your tongue before you even speak. But the truth is, most people respect anyone who tries. Fear shrinks when you take small risks. Say one sentence today, 2 tomorrow, and keep building. Each risk proves that nothing terrible happens. The wall of fear slowly falls apart brick by brick. Study blocks can even come from success. After reaching one goal, you might feel lost about the next step. This emptiness feels like a block. But it is really just a signal to set a new, exciting challenge. The mind loves purpose. Without a next step, it becomes lazy and blocked. With a clear challenge, it becomes alert and open. The wall only exists when there is no mission. Finally, the biggest truth about study blocks is this: they are temporary. No wall lasts forever when you keep showing up with the right attitude. Every learner experiences them, but every learner can overcome them. Remembering this is already half the victory. Chapter 2. Why they happen. Every study block has a cause, even if it feels mysterious. The brain is not a machine that works perfectly at all times. When something interrupts focus or motivation, a wall begins to grow. Understanding the cause is the first step to removing it. One common reason is stress. When your body feels pressure, your mind cannot stay calm enough to learn. Stress tells your brain that survival is more important than new knowledge. That is why tense moments create heavy blocks. Another big reason is fear. You might fear failure, fear mistakes, or fear being laughed at. This fear makes the brain freeze, like ice covering your thoughts. Until you face the fear, the block stays solid. Lack of sleep is another invisible enemy. Tired brains cannot remember or focus well. Even if you push yourself to study, nothing seems to stick. It feels like pouring water into a broken cup. Nutrition also plays a secret role. If you eat unhealthy food or skip meals, your brain has little fuel. Without energy, concentration collapses quickly. The block arrives before you even open your book. Sometimes, the problem is routine that never changes. Reading the same textbook in the same way every day becomes boring. The brain craves freshness and variety. Without it, the wall of boredom grows taller. Distractions from technology also create blocks. Constant phone notifications pull you out of focus again and again. Your brain never enters deep concentration. This repeated break is like hitting a wall each time you try to move forward. Another reason is perfectionism. When you demand flawless English from yourself, you create impossible pressure. Pressure becomes fear, and fear becomes paralysis. The block is built from your own high expectations. Some learners block themselves by comparing too much. Seeing someone fluent online can make you feel small. Instead of feeling inspired, you feel hopeless. That hopelessness creates a wall in your own path. Low confidence can also be a powerful block. If you believe you are bad at languages, your brain listens to that belief. Each time you try, the negative voice grows louder. That inner critic becomes the builder of the wall. Environment is often overlooked but deeply important. A noisy or chaotic space prevents deep focus. Your brain becomes alert to every sound, not the lesson. In this way, your surroundings build invisible walls. Sometimes the block comes from too many resources. You open 3 apps, 5 websites, and 10 videos, but cannot choose one. Too many options create confusion. Confusion quickly becomes paralysis. Lack of a clear plan is another common cause. If you do not know what you are studying today, you waste energy deciding. That wasted energy feels heavy and discouraging. Soon, you feel blocked before you even begin. Study blocks often happen after long periods of cramming. When you overload your brain, it resists new information. It needs rest, but you force more data inside. The result is a wall of exhaustion. Another cause is the absence of immediate reward. If you study but see no quick results, your brain loses interest. It says, "Why should I work for nothing?" That disappointment forms into a solid block. Sometimes the block comes from learning methods that do not match your style. Visual learners may struggle with only listening. Auditory learners may hate long reading tasks. Using the wrong method makes learning feel impossible. Past negative experiences also build blocks. A strict teacher, a bad grade, or a time you felt embarrassed may echo in your mind. Each memory adds another brick. The wall is made of old pain. Lack of purpose is another hidden reason. If you cannot answer "Why am I learning English?", the brain sees no reason to try. Motivation fades without purpose. The block grows in the silence of lost meaning. Another cause is the belief that learning should always be serious. When study feels like punishment, your brain resists. But when learning feels like play, the mind stays open. Treating English like a heavy burden only builds more walls. Multitasking is another trap. Trying to study while watching TV or scrolling on your phone splits attention. The brain cannot build strong memory in 2 directions. This weak learning becomes a block of frustration. Sometimes the block is seasonal or situational. Exams, work, or personal problems drain energy. Even if you want to learn, life feels too heavy. The block is simply your brain asking for balance. A very common cause is lack of small wins. If you only set huge goals, you rarely feel success. Without success, motivation disappears. The block is your brain saying, "I need proof I can do this." Too much translation can also cause blocks. Switching every word to your native language is slow and tiring. Your brain gets stuck in 2 systems at once. That confusion builds into a wall. Another hidden reason is isolation. Studying completely alone can make learning feel meaningless. Without interaction, the language feels dead. The block is your brain craving connection. For some learners, the cause is overthinking grammar. Worrying about every rule creates pressure. You forget to enjoy the message and focus only on correctness. This perfection trap quickly builds a block. Cultural distance can also be a factor. If the language feels far from your life, your brain struggles to care. Without emotional connection, study feels pointless. This lack of connection becomes a barrier. Unrealistic expectations are dangerous too. Believing you can be fluent in 3 months sets you up for disappointment. Disappointment becomes frustration. Frustration builds a block. Sometimes, the block is simply habit. You sit at your desk, open the book, and your brain remembers past frustration. The memory itself creates a wall. The cycle repeats until you break it with change. In the end, blocks are not mysteries. They come from stress, fear, exhaustion, confusion, or lack of purpose. Each reason has a solution, but first you must recognize it. Awareness is the first hammer to break the wall. Chapter 3. Smarter Strategies. The first strategy is to break learning into small, clear steps. Instead of saying, "I will study English today," choose a simple goal like, "I will learn 5 new travel words." This creates direction and focus for your brain. Small victories build momentum and push the block away. Another powerful method is active learning. Do not only read or listen, but speak, write, and interact with English. When your body and voice are engaged, your brain remembers better. Active energy breaks through passive walls. Using variety is also essential. Watch a short video, read a comic, then practice speaking with a friend. Different activities keep the brain curious and awake. Curiosity melts blocks faster than discipline alone. The strategy of micro-sessions is life-changing. Study for 10 or 15 minutes, then take a short break. The brain works best in small bursts of focus. These short cycles prevent exhaustion and keep motivation alive. Rewarding yourself after study is another smart move. Enjoy a small snack, a favorite song, or a moment of rest after completing a task. This positive feedback teaches your brain to connect English with pleasure. Pleasure weakens the wall of resistance. Visualization is a technique that many learners ignore. Before you begin, imagine yourself speaking English confidently. Picture conversations, travel, or work where your English helps you succeed. This mental picture inspires the brain to work harder and break blocks. One more effective strategy is to use real-life context. Instead of memorizing lists, learn words that connect to your life. If you love cooking, learn recipes in English. Personal connection makes the block disappear. Study with others whenever possible. Group learning creates laughter, discussion, and shared goals. The wall cannot survive when the brain feels supported by community. Together, learners pull each other forward. Change your environment when you feel blocked. Move to a cafe, library, or quiet park. A fresh space refreshes your brain. Sometimes the block is tied only to the room where you usually study. Gamify your learning to make it playful. Use apps with points, challenges, or time goals. Pretend you are competing with yourself in a fun game. Games break walls by replacing pressure with excitement. Music is another powerful tool. Sing along to English songs you enjoy. Rhythm and melody help memory stay longer. When learning feels like music, the block fades into harmony. Storytelling is a secret weapon against blocks. Create small stories using the words you study. Stories make information meaningful and memorable. The wall cannot resist the power of imagination. Break big goals into smaller ones to reduce pressure. Instead of "I will be fluent," start with "I will order food in English." Each small success gives you confidence. Confidence destroys the block piece by piece. Use the teach-back method to lock in knowledge. After learning something, explain it to a friend or even to yourself. Teaching forces deeper understanding. The block weakens when you prove you can explain. Mindfulness is another strong strategy. Before study, take one deep breath, calm your mind, and focus. A relaxed brain opens like a door. A stressed brain builds a wall. Practice self-kindness instead of criticism. When you make a mistake, smile and try again. Harsh words against yourself make the block harder. Kindness keeps the wall soft and easy to break. Use the environment as a tool instead of a distraction. Label objects in your room with English words. See them daily and practice aloud. This constant exposure breaks the block quietly in the background. Keep a learning journal. Write down what you studied each day, even if it is just one word. Seeing your progress on paper creates motivation. Progress is the strongest hammer against the wall. Use active recall instead of passive review. Close the book and try to remember words without looking. This challenges your brain to work harder. The challenge builds strength and tears down blocks. Spaced repetition is another powerful method. Review words not all at once, but after 1 day, then 3 days, then 1 week. This pattern helps your memory last longer. A strong memory prevents future blocks. Turn English into part of your daily routine. Change your phone to English, read short signs, or listen to English podcasts during travel. Daily contact keeps your brain familiar with the language. Familiarity weakens the wall of fear. Find a study partner or accountability buddy. Promise to share your progress with each other. Knowing someone expects your effort pushes you to continue. Together, you lift each other over the block. Use humor as a study tool. Laugh at your mistakes, enjoy funny videos, or make silly sentences with new words. Laughter relaxes the brain and opens it to learning. No wall survives joy. Create an emergency plan for tough days. Decide in advance that even on bad days, you will study just one sentence. This keeps your habit alive. Small actions keep the block from growing bigger. Celebrate every victory, no matter how small. Write down or say aloud, "I did it," after each success. Celebration gives your brain a burst of dopamine. This happy feeling makes blocks impossible to maintain. Connect learning to your dreams. Imagine how English will help you travel, make friends, or advance your career. The stronger your dream, the weaker the wall. Dreams are powerful motivators. Avoid multitasking during study. Focus fully on one activity at a time. This deep concentration builds stronger connections in your brain. Strong connections push against the block until it falls. Take regular physical breaks. Walk, stretch, or drink water between sessions. Movement refreshes your brain and body. A refreshed brain climbs over walls with ease. Practice speaking daily, even for 1 minute. Speaking aloud activates multiple parts of the brain. The more you speak, the more natural it feels. Speaking practice smashes the wall of silence. Finally, never forget persistence. Even when a block feels strong, keep returning gently every day. Small actions, repeated with patience, always win. The wall cannot stand against steady effort. Chapter 4. Real-life action plan. Every learner needs a plan, not just random effort. Without a roadmap, it is easy to wander and feel lost. An action plan brings structure and purpose to your study. Structure makes the block fall before it even begins. Start by creating a weekly schedule. Choose 5 or 6 days, not all 7, so you have space to rest. Each day, assign a small and clear task. Consistency builds confidence and removes doubt. Day 1 might focus on vocabulary. Choose 10 words connected to your life and practice them. Use them in short sentences to make them real. 1 day of focused vocabulary plants strong seeds. Day 2 could focus on listening. Watch a short video, song, or podcast in English. Write down 3 phrases you hear. Listening sharpens your ear and builds natural rhythm. Day 3 should give attention to speaking. Even if you are alone, record yourself speaking 2 or 3 sentences. Play it back and notice your improvement. Speaking out loud breaks the wall of silence. Day 4 can be about reading. Choose something interesting like an article, comic, or short story. Circle words you know and underline ones you want to learn. Reading builds comfort with structure and style. Day 5 should connect all the skills. Write a small paragraph using words you learned, then read it aloud, and listen again to a similar topic online. Integrating skills makes English feel alive. Integration is the strongest weapon against blocks. If you study 6 days, let day 6 be review. Revisit the words, phrases, and ideas from the week. Practice them again in a fun way, like a quiz or flashcards. Review locks the learning into long-term memory. Always keep day 7 as a rest day. The brain needs recovery to stay sharp. Rest is not wasted time, it is preparation for new learning. A rested mind has no reason to build walls. Set clear goals for each week. For example, this week I will learn vocabulary about travel. At the end, check if you reached that goal. Tracking goals creates satisfaction and motivation. Write your plan on paper or a digital calendar. Seeing it visually reminds you of your promise. Visual reminders give your brain gentle pressure. Gentle pressure is stronger than heavy guilt. Include rewards in your plan. Promise yourself a treat, a movie, or relaxation after completing the week. Rewards create excitement to continue. Excitement burns through resistance. Keep your sessions short and effective. 20 to 30 minutes is enough for most daily tasks. Quality is more important than hours. Effective focus is the key to progress. Balance your plan with flexibility. If you miss a day, do not panic. Just continue the next day. Flexibility prevents guilt from turning into blocks. Use themes to make weeks more fun. One week could be food, another week travel, another about work. Themes connect learning to real life. Real life makes study practical and motivating. Practice self-checks weekly. Ask yourself, what did I learn? What was hard? What felt easy? Reflection makes your plan smarter each time. Reflection removes blind spots. In your action plan, mix old and new knowledge. Review old material before adding more. This prevents overload. Old and new working together create balance. Include speaking with real people if possible. Join online groups, language exchanges, or chat with friends. Human connection brings energy to your plan. Energy destroys the heavy feeling of study blocks. Your plan should include fun activities. Watch English movies with subtitles, play language games, or sing songs. Fun keeps your brain open and curious. Curious minds never build walls. Make your plan personal. Do not copy someone else's schedule exactly. Choose tasks that match your interests and level. A personal plan is easier to follow. Use a journal to record progress each week. Write the words you mastered and the sentences you built. Seeing progress on paper is powerful. It motivates you to keep climbing forward. Set monthly challenges inside your plan. For example, by the end of this month, I will read one short story in English. Big challenges give direction. Direction makes the wall invisible. Remember to plan breaks inside sessions. Study for 25 minutes, then rest for 5. These breaks refresh the mind. A refreshed mind moves smoothly through the plan. Build accountability into your action plan. Share your weekly goals with a friend. Knowing someone is watching motivates you. Accountability is like a friend pushing you over the wall. Adjust your plan when life changes. Exams, work, or travel may interrupt routine. Instead of giving up, adapt the schedule. Adaptation keeps your momentum alive. Add a creative element to your plan. Draw, write poems, or make small videos in English. Creativity makes study feel like play. Playful learning leaves no room for blocks. Review your plan every month. Ask if it is still fun, balanced, and effective. Change what is boring or too heavy. Updating keeps the plan fresh. Keep your plan realistic. Do not expect fluency in a short time. Expect steady progress step by step. Realistic goals keep frustration away. Finally, trust the plan you created. Even if you feel blocked one day, follow the routine gently. Routine is stronger than emotion. Step by step, your action plan carries you over every wall. You have now seen how simple shifts in study habits can completely change your progress in English. Remember, it is not about studying harder, but studying smarter. Every block you face can be turned into a stepping stone if you follow the strategies we practiced today. Keep returning to your plan, stay consistent, and you will see real results. Thank you for learning with Easy English Official. If this video helped you, share it with a friend who also struggles with study blocks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check the description for links to more lessons. Your journey to fluent English is already moving forward. So keep going and never stop learning smarter.